tonight. Jared, we know there are no easy wins in the NBA. Charlotte was always going to keep coming back. What did it take to just put them away down the stretch?
Man, it took us all locking in. You know, the way the league going right now, a 20-point lead ain't safe. You know, especially with a team like this that play hard, shoot a lot of threes. So we started off really well, and then that's on me and some of the second unit. We kind of, you know, took a foot off the gas where we should have kept going. But shout out to the guys for locking in on those last 2 quarters and coming together and just playing harder than them.
Just your second game back from injury, Jared. Kind of a typical Jared Vanderbilt play, though. Halfway through the 4th quarter, you jump a passing lane, get the steal, go down and dunk it. You can tell kind of LeBron and AD came over to you and said, hey, that's what we need.
Yeah. I mean, that's what I feel like when I'm in my element. So shot wasn't falling. I'm still trying to get my feet under me a little bit. But the one thing I can't control is just playing hard and playing physical. And I think by picking up and trying to get them out of their sets, it kind of shifted the game for us. So
you guys are playing your best basketball of the season. The wins are coming now. What kind of rhythm do you think you're building as a team?
We're building great rhythm. You know, it was a little funky today. We had lineups that hasn't played together, so it's going to take a little time. But guys are locked in on both ends of the floor. We communicating, we gelling, and we're just playing good basketball right now on both ends.
All right. Last one for you. I know you've got to get on the plane and get some ice on and go to Philly for a back-to-back. What's the key from a veteran like you in a back-to-back situation?
Recover your body, especially when we travel tonight. So make sure guys, you know, whatever they got to do, whether it's ice, stretch, treatment, get some sleep. Yeah, it's a quick turnaround. So that's the main thing for back-to-backs.
All right, thanks, Vando.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, brother.
Yeah, I know it's not about the counting stats to you, but 40-20 doesn't happen often. It's the 5th time in your career if you don't count the play-in game, or sorry, the NBA Cup final officially. What was going on tonight where you were able to kind of find that level of production at the rim and overall?
Shot was just feeling good. You know, teammates did a good job setting me up, especially Austin. You know, in the pocket, the jumper, you know, getting to the line. So, I mean, all facets of the game was working. Missed 2 threes, but, yeah, I mean, just the entire team, you know, not just me. I think the way we've been playing, moving the basketball and, you know, playing for each other, you know, not caring who scored, as long as we score. Things just been able to, you know, open up for me. So.
Yeah, I know, you know, Reaves has been out these last 2, but with Vanderbilt into the action, you know, Dorian getting a little more comfortable. Are you feeling some of that kind of the athleticism, the length, and some of that just additional help? It's also with Jackson playing more in those 2 big lineups.
Yeah, I mean, you know, our defense, you know, is a lot different. You know, when Vando's in the lineup, and you know, you get Doe, who's, you know, still on a minute restriction, but you know, finding his way. You know, Jackson, you know, when we go to the 2 big lineups, so you know, it allows us to, you know, do a lot of things, you know, schematically, defensively to disrupt teams. And then when Vando's, you know, his ball pressure, like we've seen today, you know, passing lanes, and the way he affects the game defensively, you know, is something that we've missed.
You guys didn't shoot the ball really well from the perimeter tonight, but you guys were pretty aggressive to the rim. Bunch of dunks. Dorian had a big one late. What did you like about the attack mentality tonight?
Yeah, I mean, you know, when the shot's not falling, I think we got some good looks. You know, they just didn't fall, but when the shot's not falling, we got to attack the basket. And that's what we're doing. We're getting offensive rebounds. Guys for, you know, dropping and kicking, you know, then re-dropping again and getting to the basket. So, you know, we're not going to, you know, just continue to shoot, you know, shots even though we're missing them. You know, our mindset changed where we just attack the basket, and, you know, it kind of just changed the game for us.
What'd you think of Dorian's dunk?
It's phenomenal. That's going on the gram tonight for sure. Yeah.
Mark Williams had a good run of games. What did you see tonight from him that made you want to attack him? What was he doing that made you feel comfortable attacking him tonight?
It wasn't just him. It was just me playing basketball. I mean, he's a good young player. I mean, you know, he's going, I can't remember the stats, but, you know, like 21 and 12 or 11, something like that over the last 5 games or something like that. You know, he's been playing extremely well. Offensive rebounding, block shots, everything. So it wasn't a one-on-one thing or nothing like that. I'm just trying to do what I can do to help the team win. That was it.
Anthony, that's the second time players had a 20-10 in the first quarter since 1996. What did you see at the beginning of the game that maybe you were able to carry on for the rest?
I've just been aggressive. So I felt good, you know, early on, and shots was falling. That was it. Just wanted to keep it going, not let it just be a one-quarter thing. Obviously the team needed me to continue to play well, and didn't want to relax. So just trying to do everything I could to help the team.
How do you handle things treatment-wise on a back-to-back like this after you play a lot of minutes and it's a long flight? How do you get? Can you do anything on the plane? Like when you get in, how do you do it?
When right now obviously playing. When we get in, obviously it's gonna be a little later, but when we get in, probably just have a meeting in the morning and get ready for tomorrow. But it's ways, and I've been doing this a while now, so I've got my little routine, for back-to-backs. But it's definitely important to get your rest, get some good nutrition, and then get ready to line it back up tomorrow.
Last question.
What's it like when you get in the zone, obviously early on in the game, and just having to stay consistent all the way through to finish through? Obviously, the Hornets made a little run at the end. Just how was it like to just stay there and actually push for the win at the end?
Well, you kind of have to, especially when another team is making a run. It's actually easier to stay in the zone, when teams are making a run, they cut the lead, and now it's a close game. Then, game being out of control, and then you start doing things that you normally wouldn't do. So it's actually a lot easier to stay in the zone, and they made it. They made a run. They're home. We're on the road. We expected them to make a run, and guys are making shots and making plays. Miles Bridges and Josh Okogie, Josh Green, all those guys. So they played well. Cut the lead. Had a chance to win. But I think us as a group stayed composed. Was able to secure the victory.
Thanks, AD.
Bron, the last time AD had a counting stats game like this, I think you rightly corrected me in not overlooking it, saying it's normal. I think it's the fifth 40-20 game of his career. What did you see from him tonight?
Just locked in, dominant from start to finish. Obviously, the first quarter, double-double in the first quarter. He carried us tonight on our first game on the East Coast, and listen, it was everything. He had it all going.
About halfway through the fourth quarter, Vando jumped the passing lane, got a steal, got a dunk, and it's like you and AD both went up to him. You've been missing that kind of thing from him. What have you made from his 2 games, and how much is that going to help you guys?
Obviously, it's going to be a process of him getting back, getting his legs back, getting his wind back. But, it's just the things that he do for our ball club. We missed, obviously, the extra possessions he get, his defensive, obviously, intensity, and then being able to jump past the legs. He has a knack for that. So that was a big-time steal right there. Made them call a timeout.
You guys dominated early. Things kind of went in another direction. And starting with the second quarter, just what did you see out there from Charlotte, from you guys, that led to that?
I mean, listen, we didn't come here to try to blow nobody out. We came here to win the game. And we played hard, from start to finish. They made a lot of threes, but, we did what we had to do to close out the game. So, I feel like we got better than that.
LeBron, they made that run in the third quarter to close the gap. What was when JJ called the timeout? What was setting that timeout to get the momentum going back in the right direction?
No, just calm down. Let's execute offensively. Let's buckle down a little bit more defensively and finish the quarter out.
When shot making isn't there for you guys, 3-point shot tonight really wasn't there for anybody. What did you like best about the other ways you guys found to score?
We're still aggressive. We're still aggressive with our shooting, and obviously the bulk of it came from me and AR not being able to connect from the outside. But we had some timely makes. We had some timely shots. We continued to defend, even though they did a good job of attacking us at some points. But when you get those timely stops and those timely scores, it definitely helps.
LeBron.
From a composure standpoint, a lot of times a 23-point lead goes all the way down to 2. The rope is let go at that point. How did you guys manage to hang in there?
Because we've been composing a lot of games this year. We've had leads, we've been down, we've been able to come back. But we've stayed even keel. Throughout a lot of the games that we've been in, close games. So tonight was another one of those instances.
This is a tricky back-to-back just in terms of how little literal time there is in terms of recovery. I know there aren't any cheat codes to it, so how do you do that? How do you handle that physically, mentally?
Rest. Try to get as much rest as you can. Obviously, it's going to be a tough one for us, but get as much rest as you can and get ready to go tomorrow.
You're heading to the East Coast, playing Philly, you're in New York. Locally in the New York metropolitan area, Dylan Harper is making waves. What's this guy report on?
Obviously, I've been watching him for quite a while. he called me Unc and I call him nephew. And I love what he's been doing at Rutgers, but I've been watching him for a long time now. And special kid, special talent. He's going to be really good in this league. Comes from a great family, obviously. Me and Harp, his pops, go back a while back. So I'm excited for what he's been doing right now at Rutgers and what he's going to continue to do in his future.
Last two.
How are you feeling for tomorrow?
Let me get through the day first.
Last question.
They were talking about AD trying to stifle the AD dribble jab, and you can see in the first quarter he was getting to that a lot, and he was liking that favorable matchup against Mark Williams. What did you see from AD this game?
No, it's not about AD versus Mark Williams. It's about us, the Lakers versus the Hornets, and it's our job to get our best player the ball in the positions where he's successful. And we took advantage of that tonight. He had it going early, and when you got your guy going early, you continue to get him the ball. So that's all it's about.
Thanks, LJ.
Yeah.
You good? Yes. Okay. Sure. Since Dorian just left the room, Austin, I'll first catch your thoughts on that dunk and just kind of as if it's emblematic of what he's brought to the team in any way since he joined.
Yeah, it was incredible. I don't even know if I really had an expression when he did it. It was that good. Like I said, I wish I could do something like that. But it was a big play and a big moment in the game. We needed it. Gave us a little, jolt of energy in that moment. But like I said, that's a big time player making a big time play.
You've never been shy about sharing kind of what AD does and how much it's impressed you, and you've talked about how people may not realize, but to see the full set of skills, right? All the different ways that he scored, all the different ways that he finds to get on the glass, et cetera. But to do it in 40-20 style, how would you summarize that?
That might have been. I mean, that's an impressive game. Start off by saying that, but that might be the most impressive quarter of basketball I've ever seen an individual play. I feel like we almost could have went and sat down and watched him do what he does. And Miles Bridges on the court was talking about them needing to try to guard him some other way, and I kind of just told him that there's no really good way to guard AD. He's so versatile, and the skill is through the roof. Makes tough shots, gets to the rim, gets fouled. It's a tough thing to do. And then him rebounding the ball is just showing his dominance, his force, and ultimately, how great he is.
You guys led by as many as 23. They cut it down to 2 or 3 late. JJ mentioned that tonight wasn't so much an effort ordeal, just mental errors, brain fog. How encouraged were you that the effort was still there, despite, sometimes in those situations, it's hard to, once you kind of let go of the rope, it just completely gets let go of?
Yeah, I don't feel like we ever let go of the rope, regardless of, what the, score showed throughout the process of the game. I felt like we continued to play hard. Like you said, we made some mental mistakes. We didn't shoot the ball well from 3. We got a lot of good looks. JJ asked me after the game if I could make an open 3, and Bron was like, I couldn't today either. So, yes, it's like Doe said, while I was sitting in here, it's always good to get a win in this league, regardless of, what it looks like. You can always be better, and I'm sure we'll watch film tomorrow morning and correct those things and try to get a win tomorrow night.
Did you feel like it was just the missed open shots and like the second quarter and the third quarter, or did you feel like the turnovers took you guys out more of what you were trying to do?
Yeah, I think it's more so the turnovers than the missed shots. You can live with, taking good shots and missing them, but can't really live with live ball turnovers that lead to layups for them. And we had, a couple of those, but missing the shots don't help.
Thanks, Austin.
Thank you.
Dorian, I want to ask you about Anthony Davis first. You've been playing against him for a long time, but now being alongside 40-20 games don't happen that often. What have you seen being here that maybe you didn't know as from afar about him?
I ain't gonna lie. I knew what he was fully capable of. I've been playing against him since he was in New Orleans. This looked like one of those games. You knew he was going to have one of those nights after the first quarter. But just happy we got the win.
I could have also started with your dunk in crunch time there. They close out. Obviously, you got the angle, but can you take me through that possession?
Well, man, I just gave up a 5-point swing on the other end on the turnover, too. So I'm happy things did go my way. But, they try to make a late game switch. AD been having a game, so they put the center on me, so they just change the dynamic of the game, put me in pick and roll, and just knowing I'm gonna have a big. If I just show the ball, most times they gonna jump, and I got the angle, and Miles Bridges down there. If I knew if I laid it up, he might throw it back to the crowd. So I had to go there with confidence and dunk the ball.
How does it feel to as a Laker to you guys are winning games to make a play like that after it goes through?
Man, we're just trying to win tomorrow, man. We got another one tomorrow. Just try to keep it going. We're trying to climb up the ladder, so we're gonna enjoy this game tonight, but we're gonna try to get this win tomorrow.
When's the last time you've had a dunk like that?
I catch him every now and then. A little sneaky. I call it sneaky bounce because. A lot of people don't think I'm gonna get up, but I catch you slipping.
You guys still have 3 more games on this part of the trip before going back to the Clippers and playing them in their building. How important is it just to build the road success, regardless of how the wins come, just to become like the ultimate version of what you guys want to be?
Man, it's tough to win in this league. So no matter if it's an ugly win, good win, we're gonna take all of them. So. We're just gonna take it one day at a time. We like I said, we trying to climb up this ladder and and make some noise. But we just gotta take it one game at a time. And we win this next game, we'll be feeling good going into Washington.
Dorian, I know it probably doesn't like when you let a 23-point lead slip all the way down to 2. There's a lot of bad stuff that's obviously happening on the court. JJ called it brain fog. He thought it was that, but he said he thought the effort was still pretty consistent. How encouraging was that the energy and the effort didn't waver while things got pretty rocky?
No, we stayed together. We stayed together even though we missed a lot of open looks, especially from 3. And they started making them. So you know how it go. They went on a run. But like I said, everybody stayed together. We stayed connected. Nobody really let it, get to us. They're an NBA team. They're gonna make a run. I'm just happy we got the win. Win ugly. Some of them gonna be ugly. But as long as we win, we kept them close to 100 points. So we did our job.
You talked about Miles Bridges. What kind of problems does he present just once LaMelo goes out, and you obviously have to start focusing more on him?
You knew once LaMelo went out, he was going to be extra aggressive, and he started making some wild layups. But he been playing. He had a good game tonight. But like I said, I'm happy we got the win. Thanks, Shout out to Twin right there. You know what I mean?
JJ, what did you make of AD's night?
He put in two days of work tonight. 21 and 11 in the first quarter, I think it was, and 21 and 12 the rest of the way. Just carried us all night. Felt like, we moved him around. He played with force. I thought his hands and touch and just the pursuit of the basketball on the offensive glass, all that stuff was just awesome tonight.
You had to use a bunch of groups that you haven't used, just with guys out and Vanderbilt back. What's the difficulty of kind of having those guys find a rhythm and short notice like that?
Be honest with you. I said this to Bob when I was walking off the court. We we played hard for 4 quarters. Now, it was not pretty, but we played hard for 4 quarters. I think for me, we made a lot of mental errors tonight. And look, I don't know if that's coming off Saturday and the long flight yesterday and getting acclimated to East Coast time, but it felt a little bit of brain fog, less so than just like guys not playing hard. Guys played hard tonight, and guys were connected tonight. We just had a lot of mental errors. We had 3 timeouts in the first half that we didn't run the correct play. The Doe's pass with the clock running. We don't need to like get it out quickly after a made basket with 3 minutes to go and a lead. Like just stuff like that. There was a lot of mental errors more so than just effort and talk and all that stuff. Our guys were great with that tonight.
You've mentioned before that you feel like AD's at his most dynamic when you guys are getting him on the move, getting positions where you can score off the move. How have you felt you guys have done that over not just tonight, obviously the big performance, but over the course of maybe like the past week or so?
Yeah, we've been good with it. AD on the move in the pocket is really good, and Golden State gave us a huge pocket. Mark Williams started the game in a deep drop. But more so than just what we were running, it was how he was playing and getting down the court early, creating mismatches. When they did read the LeBron AD pick and roll, it wasn't just, all right, I'm going to go down and LeBron's going to ISO and then I'm going to get that back on defense. It was, I have a mismatch. I can be on the offensive glass. And so I think just the force that he played with all night was fantastic.
JJ, what did you make of kind of the pace at which you guys played with in the third and fourth quarters, and how do you balance sort of like LeBron's ability to draw like these incredible mismatches versus kind of the way the ball popped early?
Yeah, I mean that's typical of our team in the third quarter. So it's not, and then fourth quarter we're an execution team. I think missing Gabe tonight hurt. Just having a little bit more of a ball handler, mover type guy. And that allows us to then move AR off the ball for some movement. We didn't. I drew it up twice. Vando messed it up the first time, but we got to the ATO. We wanted to, and AR off ball, and he hit a floater there in the fourth quarter. So there's just like a compounding effect to guys being out and guys not having played a ton of minutes together.
JJ, what did you make of Vando's second game and how he continues to progress and acclimate?
He plays hard. He's a banshee. So excited to have him continue to build up his conditioning and tolerance level for minutes. And he was a spark tonight. The play where he got the steal, I believe it was 94-88. I had called the timeout after Okogie had gotten the and one, I think, to get it to 88, and it was a 91-88 game. And then we scored, but then we were having a lot of trouble scoring, and our defense was really good in that stretch. We got, I think it was 3 or 4 at least stops in a row, and then Vando gets that steal to put us up 8, and it was kind of like, that was huge. The offensive rebounds, creating second opportunities, getting fouled when he was crashing the glass. So he just does all the things we want him to do, and he was high level tonight.